Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna try to record this. Forgive me for being kind of awkward. I'm still getting into the hang of recording and putting myself out there. I have another YouTube channel where I try to do this too, and I like recording actually on my back camera, but I want to like, if I'm gonna record on my back camera, I need to find a way to like flip it so I can see myself. So if y'all know tips and tricks on that, like I'm gonna do some research on my own, but let me know. But today we're gonna be talking about the apple, why we give apples as offerings to Santa Muerte, what they represent, and I'll also attach a few articles, just kind of going over what I'm talking about to reiterate for you to do your own personal research as well. So as we all know, Santa Muerte is tied to the Catholic religion. Even though they do not acknowledge her, they actually view her as a satanic folk saint, even though she doesn't have anything to do with the devil or Satan. They view her like as a, I think the Mexico has actually viewed her as a narco saint. Tying this back to the apple specifically, in Christianity, the apple was the fruit of the forbidden tree. And I find it quite interesting because apples represent knowledge, they represent renewal, they represent life, creation in itself. You'll even learn this like in your history classes when you're talking about fruits, and they'll specifically use the apple to describe reproduction, like female reproduction, and how like seeds are used when consumed by animals to disperse, and through like fecal matter and things of the sort, that's how other apple trees are able to reproduce. So I find it so interesting that this is the fruit that we use for Santissima Muerte, obviously because she is deemed as a protector specifically of mothers. She is, we call her mama, like a mother to us, a mother figure to us. Even in some of her figures, she's seen as being pregnant, standing on top of a globe, meaning like she's a mother to all. So it's really interesting about how everything ties in together in regards to the apple itself. Apples are an amazing source of fiber, and I swear I'm gonna get into this, but this is what I'm saying. There's like a gnat in here, sorry y'all, but like if you see that, disregard. But apples are amazing. The skin is used as an amazing source of fiber, and they're also a great source of natural glucose as well. So the way I view it is when I put an apple on the altar, not only is this a offering for Santissima, but it's also a way to sweeten our relationship, a way to cleanse as well, because fiber, that's literally what it does. It helps cleanse through the digestive tract, and then also in regards to the symbolism of the color red. Red is a symbol of passion, love, even anger and aggression, protection. And apples are extremely resilient fruits as well, i.e. their barrier, the actual skin of an apple is, you know, pretty resilient as well. So it's another element of protection as well. But also, people also tie it to blood, right? And ancestry, the bloodline, because apples stem from a apple tree. And trees have tons and tons of symbolization, or it's, yeah, symbolization, I don't think that's a word, or symbolized in various ways regarding lineage, blood lineage specifically, which I find a lot of times too, individuals who work with Santissima Muerte, especially African Americans, a lot of us struggle with identity regarding not knowing who our ancestors are further than maybe 2 to 3, maybe possibly 4 generations back, if we have like a great grandfather, great grandmother. So Santissima Muerte is another way to be able to cultivate and strengthen relationships of ancestors. If you practice like hoodoo and things like that, a way of invoking and maybe being a guardian to allowing those unknown ancestors to come in a safe and secure way. But like I said, I personally love using red apples. I just find that they just work better for me than green apples. But you can also try green, you can try yellow, experiment, see, put all 3 on the altar and see which ones last the longest. That's also a way that you'll know when your offering is done, is either you will see like she's caught something, because these are great for catching negative energies as well on your altar. you will get like an actual rotten spot. And of course, produce is going to decompose anyway, so if you see, you know, it's rotting or things like that, it's going through its natural process, i.e. the symbolic of life and death, holy death, I mean, come on. Obviously throw it away, clean the space, and replenish the offerings. Now, my apples last a long time, so don't be afraid. Like, if you don't see it looking like it literally, okay, so this is a nice apple, nice good apple. I wish I'd literally just refreshed my altar a couple days ago for All Saints Day, but I had an apple that was on there, I shit y'all not, for like a month, and it just looked like the life was sucked out of it, but it wasn't. It didn't have any rotten spots or anything like that. It just looked withered. Just looked withered. When you see something like that, that's when you would need to replace it as well. So I hope this gives you a little bit of a background in regards to apples, what they mean, and also challenging you to think outside of the box when it comes down to your offerings, i.e. what I meant about scientifically speaking, you know, sweeter fruits, glucose, sweetening your work, sweetening your altar. You know, like I said, think about even roses as well. Why are roses used? Roses, one, are a master herb. They hold a very high frequency. They're tied to many things. For instance, like the thorns on roses are used as protection, love, passion, sex, beauty. So that's why I wanted to create this type of content to be able to like start getting the wheels turning a little bit in regards to intentionality and being extremely intentional. The next video we'll talk more about like tobacco, different liqueurs you can offer. Yes, she prefers tequila, but like I personally use rum, so I will let her talk a little bit more about that. And again, the whole purpose of this content is to decrease people's fear of approaching devotion, even just approaching working with her, because I think working with her and being a devotee are two separate things. So I might make a video on that as well. So I don't want this to get too long, but just know that I'm gonna create a couple videos today on various topics. So next one I think is gonna be like beverages. So bye.